to the Western Cape now. The IEC in that province has revealed that voter turnout by 5 o'clock was sitting at 26%. The provincial electoral officer, Michael Hendricks, says this could have been as a result of rain in Cape Town, the long weekend, and people deciding not to vote at all. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana joins us live from the Western Cape Results Operations Center at Century City. With the Western Cape having had 3.1 million people that had registered to vote, this no doubt is a disappointment. As Professor Hos noted a short while ago, that some people turned back because of the rain. What is it that you witnessed, or what can you tell us that is new this hour?
26%, a very worrying figure. A lot of people noting what the IEC here in the Western Cape has revealed. Now, many examples have been put forward by the IEC here in the Western Cape, citing that it could have been because of the rain, as you have pointed out, but it also could have been due to the fact that this is a long weekend and that some people might have simply decided not to vote. Of course, there is also another issue that the IEC was pressed on here by members of the media during that press briefing, an issue that many residents on the ground have been complaining about, which is their names are not reflecting on the system, whereas they claim to have actually gone out to register during the voter registration weekend. One gentleman, for example, that I spoke to earlier on says he relocated from Johannesburg not so long ago to Cape Town and ensured during the registration period that his name would be able to get picked up in Cape Town. However, when he arrived at the voting district where he was voting at, he was turned away together with his wife. So those are the stories that we've been hearing from people on the ground regarding how they have been turned away at various voting districts. The IEC tried to explain why some people were turned away, but eventually said that there's nothing they can do. If people's names are not reflecting on the system, then there's nothing they can simply do. They even went as far as saying that some particular areas or wards have been split, and because they've been split, people were then asked to re-register during the registration weekend, but some did not get wind of this message and therefore not having their names reflected, and therefore subsequently resulting in them not being able to head to the polls to vote today.
At the station, the result slip is completed there, party agents are signed off, one copy stays behind at the voting station, the ballot boxes and the result slips and the other material come back to our local site, the capturing site, where it is captured onto our result system. We have an independent auditor, they don't work for us, independent auditors, that will verify that what is captured is in fact what is on the result slip. We go through a process of exception management, where the system will try and pick up exceptions and say, is this correct? Because we notice that, for example, the difference between a party turnout, the party ward candidate gets, say, 50 votes, but the party gets, like on the PR, 300 votes. And you say, but what's the difference? Now, it may be true that people just don't like the ward candidate, but what the system does, it doesn't reject it. But all it says is check whether you haven't made a capturing error, if anything, because sometimes you can transpose a particular result. So we double check and check again. But ultimately that result slip is also on the system, so parties can even see the actual result slip and check it against what we've captured. Then we go through, and then only once that is done, then that particular voting district result is then displayed, and so it will come voting district, voting district.
That was Michael Hendricks from the IEC here in the Western Cape, responding to various questions that were posed to him by members of the media. Of course, one of the crucial questions that were asked is when we should actually start to expect those results to trickle in, and he noted that we should expect something at around 10:30. That's just before they host their final briefing for this evening, of course, at 11 p.m. So we should expect some of the results to come in at 10:30. some areas votes and results will come in a little bit earlier due to the fact that the number of people in those particular voting districts are lower than others. So it is very dependent on the circumstances of each voting district in as far as the results trickling in are concerned.
Athi Mtongana in the Western Cape for us. We'll touch base with you a little bit later on.